Hello and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm gonna show you how to rig armor. So first, we need the body or the mesh of a human. You can search it here, human body or body, and find the body for a male or female, but I'm gonna use the body of the male. Go to, and you can see that you can find it in EM asset package human. So go to your tpacTool. Open in this directory, and then because I opened it before, this appear here. While loading, I can just, let's say, add a box. This will be the armor for our tutorial, a very simple mesh, because I'm not very artistic in Blender, so just for a sample. Now let's find the human. In case you cannot find human here, maybe you're in a different tab. So let's go into a model and find human. And in here, there's a body male A, and make sure to make it rig since that's what we need. And in here, you can see that only DAE has the bone connection, so export it as DAE. So in my desktop, I'm gonna create a new folder so that the materials in it, let me show you later, will not mess my desktop because it will, let me also take the head, it will be, it will appear in my desktop every material because I have used this before. This is automatically set, and in my desktop you can see that the materials is in here too. So if I put it here, that's gonna be real messy. This is the two I need. I'm gonna import them. Import Ascolada, desktop, human, body, and I'm gonna select them both for import. Only one is imported, so I'm gonna import the head too. Now that you see that it is facing the wrong direction, you can, or I will just delete the one bone so that we only have one, and rotate it 180. Since the head doesn't have a bone, we should rotate it too. And then let's go into our cube again, Alt H to reappear. And then I'm just gonna make a box armor just for the sake of giving a sample, because I take tried to take some samples online, but it was too much work and too much time will be consumed. So as for example, let me just use this mesh. So we got the Roblox armor. But we need to apply this first. Normally you should put this mesh in some layer or just to save it. But this is just a sample, so let's apply it. And then let's add some helmet. Separate from it. Let's use the monkey. Now we need some materials in this. So if we go to texture paint, you can just add a material or an image. But since I have no image material for this, or image texture for this mesh, I'm just gonna create my own. As a base color, the game mostly use, let me show you in the materials or texture, they mostly use the size of 2048 in game. You can use other size, but the higher resolution the better. So let's just 2048. I use 2048. Press OK, and in here I can choose this material base color and paint it in white. And for example, you want to color a specific face or vertex, you can just select them and then go back to texture paint, press this paint mask, and you can safely, let's say I'm gonna paint this something blue. So the only color or the only paint that face that will be painted is the one selected. But I'm gonna use a gray. So that it will be different. Now the same process goes with the armor. By the way, you have to save the image since it will not save automatically, and I'm gonna name this monkey texture. I'm gonna put it in my desktop. In case your mesh is not yet unwrapped, you can unwrap it here in UV editing. Now that this is white, let's go back to edit mode, and I want this to change color when I choose a faction sigil color. And I'm gonna go back to texture paint mask with the gray. So I think this is fine. So let's save this image as box armor. You can name it whatever you want, but so that I can find it easily, I name it like that. Go back to modeling, and now we go to rigging the armor. You can do this without the helmet. For example, you're only making an armor, but since I'm making a two set of item or two items, and it's better to understand it than making a single armor, let me name this first as a box armor. And this a monkey helmet, or just a monkey. Now the skeleton should be named human skeleton not fused or not used. No F, not fused. Also name the subcategory as not used. Now you can see that the box and the monkey are not a child of any arm or any skeleton. I'm gonna select the skeleton, or I'm gonna select this first and the body, and now the skeleton. The skeleton will be the parent when I press Ctrl P with automatic weights. If you take your mesh online and it is already rigged, you can just go here and delete everything here. When you parent your mesh with the bone, this will appear. But since even if this is here, when you move the bones, let me show you. When you move the bones using pose mode, you can see that it's not very, or maybe this is good because of its simple simple geometry. But you can see that there's some part that should not be moving with them. For example, the head, the shoulder should not be moving. We can step back. We can just transfer the weight of this body into this armor so that the rigging of the body will be transferred into the armor or helmet. So first, let's do the armor. Select the body first, then select the armor. Go to weight paint. Since I have selected this before, do not use the mask. And then select the transfer weight and do not click anywhere. Click here first and make this 5 meter. There's a 3 thing that we will change here. Ray radius, vertex mapping. Let's change this into a nearest face interpolated. Why is this activating? And then in here, the source layer, let's choose by name and see here the affected area of each bone. For example, the finger doesn't have any mesh to affect. Now the fourth twist, you can see that this doesn't affect this, just maybe because it's too far away. But it should be. Isn't it affecting? Oh, because the spine is affecting it. And it shouldn't be. So you can paint it. You can paint it. Let me show you. There's the brush. Here. You can just paint it with 0 weight. If it doesn't affect, it's affecting too much. But anyway, let's just leave it as it is. You can remove this not usable bone, but I won't remove it as it doesn't make any problem for now. Now for the helmet, the same process. And then go to weight paint, transfer weights. Because I did this earlier, this will be automatically set. And see if the head or there's a bone that affecting this head, most probably the neck, and it shouldn't be. You can see here that this is color blue, so this means when the head moves, this will moves this will move with the head, but this will not. So it doesn't look good in the neck. It affects here, and it shouldn't be. So we can just remove it. Now let's go back to the head. Maybe we should just remove the neck. You can see that the spine is affecting this, so this should be removed, or you can just remove everything except the head, because the head is the only one that it touch. Now if I didn't color this red, the item that has no weight will just go flow with the wind, or just what do you call it, a boneless mesh. It's better if I just show you, so I'm not gonna color this any, I'm not gonna put weight in it. I'm just gonna leave this as is. Now we can export it. Select the bone and select the helmet or what you want to export. I don't want to export both since this is a two separate item. So let's export them as FBX. Selected objects only, so that it won't export everything here. Armature, this is the important one. You should uncheck this because this will mess your bones or the skeleton. And I'm gonna name it the same name as my mesh. Gonna select again. Export them as monkey in desktop. Or I'm gonna put them in the human body I made earlier. Also the body and the skeleton, select it. I'm just gonna copy this. Body and the skeleton, export as FBX. The same settings. Now this is ready to be imported in our resource browser. I have made a mod. You can create one in here. Create new module. I name it rigging. And when you create it, you need to restart your game to activate it. Now that this is usable, I'm just gonna import those assets I made, which is the box armor. Where is it? Box armor and monkey. Now you will notice that they don't have a material, so we can just, where did I save it? I think I save it in the desktop. Here and here. I guess we can drag it, I hope. No, but I know that it is in the desktop. Now this is not yet usable as a material since this is a texture. So I'm gonna create an override. Normally you can just create a material, but for fast settings, I can just take some helmet like this and change its name so that it won't override the original one. I'm gonna name this monkey mat or whatever you want. I'm gonna remove the normal map and specular since I don't have any of those, but those two are important. But for now, let's just not use specular. And in here, let's use this monkey texture. Compile and save. Now in your monkey, select the monkey materials you made. This look like this because this doesn't have a normal map and it doesn't have a specular. And it's also metallic. You can just use shading. Still the same. Anyhow, you can just use this as our sample. For the armor, you can create an override and rename it into a box armor. Box armor material. And also remove these two. The specular. I'm also gonna use my box armor texture. Compile and save. Now let's apply this. Save. And our box armor has now a really weird materials in it. Now I want to change the color of this material when I choose a color of the faction. So you can just edit it in paint, which is not very reliable, but for me this is the only thing I know. I'm gonna paint this into red. I have messed the painting recently, so I'm gonna remove those and just paint this red. Now this one, I'm gonna paint this green, a little light green. It's also the same. And do not save it. Save it as monkey texture diffuse 2 or any name you want. Same with the armor. I'm gonna paint this red. I have messed it up. And I'm gonna color this green. Now save it as diffuse 2. And now we can just import it. The red means this is the banner color and the green means the sigil color. So in our material, you can just compile and save. And in this, the same process. Compile and wrong. Compile and save. And this should be usable as a mesh for your game. So let's go here in our rigging, or let's go first into the Sandbox core to open a body armor and head armors. And then let's open the rigging mod, its module data and the items. I have a previous item here that I made as a practice, but for you to see, I'm gonna take this from scratch. Just any helmet will do. Then let's go to armors. I'm gonna name this just box, or this is the helmet, so this is the monkey, this is the box, and let's just name this AA monkey so that I can find it alphabetically. The name of the mesh is what will go here. For example, the monkey and the box armor. You can change the parameter here if you want. The head and beard covered type can also be changed, but this is very specific. Covers body true, so that the body will be blank. Now we can save this, double checking the name of the mesh, monkey, box armor. So let's test it in game. Now let us find the item from game. You need the cheat enabled to see this. And now you can wear it, and because I haven't painted this as a waist, or I didn't paint a red waist here, this is now not affected by any skeleton in the body. So let me show you why the color is like that. Gonna change the faction color. I need to leave the kingdom, but I am the owner of this kingdom. Now I'm gonna change my faction color. Let's just choose blue and yellow and go to village. Imagine you have an army wearing this. So this conclude it. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if this helps you. So more videos in the future.